About a year ago, the GoPro Hero 10 launched. I have the camera for 6 months now, and in this video I'm going to answer the question, is it still worth buying the GoPro Hero 10? The very first thing I want to point out is that you should absolutely get the Enduro batteries. While I got a bunch of batteries and chargers, the Enduros are the real deal. In other news, in 6 months of using I didn't put on the protective housing once. So now that we have cleared the table, let's get started with the GoPro Hero 10. On the package they mention Hypersmooth 4.0. After 6 months and a lot of GoPro usage, I can assure you, this version of Hypersmooth is so good. While driving, the camera was shaking a lot and I thought the footage was unusable. But as you are witnessing, the footage is really good. What's nice about GoPro these days is the included case in the package. It's so useful and I actually use it to this day. A charging cable is included. You will find one battery in the package, but as I said before, just get the Enduro batteries. Once you unpack the camera, you're ready to go. 2 things I want to point out. The camera is very well protected during delivery. And with the GoPro Hero 10 you can detach the lens cover once again. While I did crash the GoPro every once in a while, I didn't need to switch the lens cover so far. But it's good to know that I could change the lens cover if I needed to. Did you need to replace the GoPro lens so far? Tell me in the comments down below. You may risk your camera's life, but please take care of yours while using the GoPro. You can easily change batteries during your activity and after. Right next to the battery there's the SD card compartment. I use a 1TB SD card which comes in handy if you're filming a vacation and don't want to stop recording every other minute. Once you inserted the battery you will be able to set up the camera. The moment Wi-Fi is connected you will get a firmware update to bring the camera up to date. I personally saw a lot of mixed reviews once the GoPro Hero 10 was released, but 12 months later I can safely say that I love my GoPro Hero 10. Mine never overheated, never stopped recording and never rebooted for no reason at all. As for my use case, everything is fine. My GoPro saw a lot of different use cases in the past months and I will take you along that journey. I initially got a Hero 10 for our skiing trip this year. GoPro Hero 10 is able to film in 5.3K at 60 FPS and 4K at 120 FPS. The camera features a new GP2 processor. There's a scope of new resolutions and frame rates for you to record footage. Controlling the GoPro is very easy. With the optimized interface and some tweaks here and there, everyone can create good looking footage with the GoPro Hero 10 Black Edition. Only the anti-flickering option is a bit hidden. I think GoPro should rethink this position and move the option to the ProTune setup, because otherwise this happens. But if you switch to the right option, your footage can look like this.
Ein Gletscher ist der Indikator dafür, wie sehr oder wie wenig unsere Umwelt belastet ist.
While the GoPro does record beautiful images, you shouldn't leave the footage untouched. You might have been the happiest you have been in a long time, but nobody in his or her right mind wants to watch 40 minutes or more of you going up or down a hill. One of the most important things while posting your GoPro content is storytelling. Don't show the same angle all the time. Don't let people relive your whole adventure. Cut parts of it and keep only what you really need. I personally would still film everything and keep the camera rolling as long as you can. But once you're back home, take a few minutes and cut a highlight reel out of all the things you've done. Tschüss! Let's watch the 17 seconds long clip to further prove what I'm saying here. And I have to say, rewatching my real life experience on video isn't as impactful as living it. The ride is so buttery smooth and we don't really get a feeling for the speed. Let's be frank, the clip is boring. It wasn't like that in real life, but it is boring while watching it. So let's switch gears. What you are seeing in this clip is how good a GoPro 10 does while skiing. I went down the same route many times to get a few perspectives. You don't need any fancy tools to do that, but you will need to put in the work while cutting your footage. We used the footage to show off our skiing routine to our grandparents. They were equally stunned about the quality of the picture and our talent. Okay, they are our grandparents, so I think they are legally required to be proud of us. But as for the GoPro Hero 10, they were not legally bound to like what they saw. They did anyway. While I think the next GoPro is on its way to be released, the quality of the GoPro Hero 10 is really good. In all of the scenes in this video I didn't use a protective case. While I did crash sometimes, the GoPro Hero 10 wasn't damaged. While the GoPro is an action camera, it also can function as a camera in areas where you don't usually use your phone's camera. Recently we used it in tropical islands near Berlin, but while we were in Hintertux we also used the GoPro to capture our quality time. It was a quiet and wonderful place, and the GoPro was able to catch every last inch of that. That does include the pool too. Due to the fact that the camera is waterproof if you're diving up to 10 meters deep in the water, I was able to get some impressions from the pool too. Filming the swimming pool scenes wasn't that easy due to the bright light situation outside, but the recording worked for what I intended to do with it. And let me just say, once more I applaud Hypersmooth 4. All scenes are so smooth even if the light is dim. The trip to Hintertux was great, but you still might ask, what do I do with the GoPro outside of my holiday? I myself use the GoPro to record my scooter trips. My scooter has off-road tires. With them I'm able to drive in off-road areas too. I think the two clips playing right now are a good example of the current state of Hypersmooth 4. I wouldn't be able to record those scenes with any other action camera. So far we only did day scenes, but let's take the camera out at night. On my scooter all elements can be seen clearly. The street recording is fine too. I tried out the GoPro Hero 10 in a lot of different scenarios, one of which was a party during our ski trip. Please keep in mind that this was filmed one day before a new lockdown in Austria, so the party was a bit small. Anyway, we had some beers, the DJ was good, and the people attending the gathering were fun too. Due to copyright rules I can't play the original sound file of the GoPro. In my book the sound was good. I would go as far as to say that GoPro footage in dark scenarios never looked that good. If you want to use your GoPro to film party scenes, the GoPro Hero 10 is a good choice for that. If you are thinking about getting a GoPro Hero 10 but you're still unsure if it's the right cam for you, please keep the next thing in mind. My recordings don't look as cool as the footage of real professionals would look like. However, I always find ways to capture images I would not be able to capture without my GoPro. 1 year after its release, the camera is as good as it gets. If the GoPro Hero 10 would stay in its current software state, I would be totally fine with that. I for one never had an issue with mine. If you are worried about bugs, keep in mind that GoPro does improve the camera with firmware updates. Right now that's not really needed. With the GoPro Hero 10 you get GoPro Plus for free for 1 year. That includes a 50% discount in their store. I got myself the bottle you're seeing on screen right now. During my ski trip I filled hot coffee in it and it stayed warm all day. While it's not a must-have item, I couldn't resist the cheaper price. I would recommend to get extra batteries for your GoPro. With them you are able to capture more of your day. You will get about an hour of footage with one battery. If you're outside all day and want to film all day, I would get a bunch of those batteries. Keep in mind you will need to charge them too. I went for 2 charging stations beside the GoPro itself. The second one was a charging case which can hold up to 3 batteries in total. Due to the reduced price I also got some cases to better protect and carry my GoPro Hero 10. If you got a Hero 9 or 10, it will fit both. I like the blue one very much because it's easy to keep inside. Every button is usable. You still can use the GoPro feeds to mount the camera on tripods. I myself like this combo very much. You only need to take it off if you're charging the GoPro or if you want to change batteries. While we are on the topic of batteries, did I mention that I love those Enduros? Yes? Let me say it once again. Get those batteries. Get as much as you can. I got a lot out of these by skiing. And while you're on it, snag a bag like I did. With the GoPro Plus Hub you're able to get it at a great price. With a discounted chassis attached we are going to drive e-scooter now. I really like to use the GoPro with my scooter, so I created a small clip for Instagram.
Wir sind bei 37 km/h, 42 km/h, 47 km/h.
You could use GoPro's interface to show off the actual speed and stuff, but I turned off GPS to save battery. This was a scooter drive while the weather was good. Let's see how the GoPro 10 performs in bad weather. And if you're wondering, oh that's what rain looks like, this was filmed in early June. If you look closely you will see Hypersmooth struggling a bit, but way less than before. I think I made one thing clear, the GoPro is an all weather, all sports, all situations camera. Just as it's meant to be. I can safely say that this is indeed the best GoPro I have ever used.
Ein krasser Tag zum E-Scooter fahren, sage ich nur. Ein krasser Tag.
GoPro themselves say that you can use the camera in a million ways, and that's totally true. Due to its form factor you can put the GoPro wherever you want. While the GoPro can take photos, I rarely use it for that. If you need a picture from your footage, you can simply extract it via the app. I'm taking the GoPro everywhere I go, and that won't change in the near future. You can get the GoPro Hero 10 Black Edition for about €450. Do you have any questions left? Feel free to comment. My name is Timon for Tech Magnet.